Hey, what's going on? This is Will Ross, and after a little bit of a break, I'm back with Burn the Ship. I have a new, I want to say new friend, but I feel like you're becoming an old friend very, very quickly.
Just two old
I have
friends.
Dr. Allison here with EverSown Chiropractic. We are in the same BNI together, and we were having some conversations about what we do out here at Safe Harbor Insurance, and I thought that Allison would be an excellent guest for us today.
Thank you very much, sir.
To share a little bit about her journey and when she decided to burn the ship. So without further ado, this is Allison. Jump into this. Let's go. I mean, so you are originally not from Atlanta.
No,
Okay.
Midwest girl.
Midwest girl, and then
Yeah.
you get to Atlanta. I think you went to Life, is that correct?
Yep, Life
Okay.
University, Marietta, Georgia.
There we go, local. And now you have been in the Atlanta metro area for roughly
Oh my God.
10 years?
It's
Yeah, almost.
just over 10 years, actually.
over a decade.
Came here in 2014 for chiropractic school.
Okay.
So almost exactly, 12 years?
Yeah. And then, so 12 years here, and EverSown becoming a real company when?
So officially, March.
Okay, March. So,
Yeah.
and that's 2025. So
Yeah.
we're talking, within the year. And then, so within that 12-year period, tell us a little bit about that journey. Just, you finished at Life, you decide, hey, I'm a
Yeah.
chiropractor.
Yes, I decided that day, hey,
Yeah.
I'm a chiropractor now. I wasn't before.
And from that point, you have worked with other chiropractors?
Yes. So in different capacities in different parts of the Atlanta metro, but just really thankful to have a practice that can serve literally all of Georgia now
Sure.
and ideally the rest of the U.S.
Well, I think what, and I'm leading you here a little bit, but I think, what we have talked to some degree, but also what I've heard from you and spending time with you is you saw that there was a gap or an opportunity
Yeah.
to really serve,
Yeah.
to serve people and to use your skills. I know you're a people person, and I always enjoy our conversations. But what was that sort of, that
Yeah.
area?
So the thing is, with chiropractic, a lot of people, and especially I would say outside of the Atlanta metro,
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta metro has a unique environment because of Life University. Everybody here knows about chiropractic. The thing is that's not common everywhere.
Sure.
And for the most part, when people think of chiropractic, they think of, all of the TikTok videos with big cracks and all that stuff. Like you just crack people's backs. And that's what everybody thinks. The thing is that chiropractic is really focusing on helping the human body functions the way it was intended to.
Right.
It's about helping to make sure that your brain is communicating with your body well, which happens through the spinal cord and through those nerves. When I was taking care of people in brick and mortar, regular office, where you come in, you have an adjustment, you have exams, all of the regular care of people, whether that was a baby, a 5-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 60-year-old, an 80-year-old, a lot of those experiences, maybe not the kid ones, but overall, the main place where people would notice the reason for coming in for care was typically pain.
Mm-hmm.
It was back pain, neck pain, hips, shoulders, wrists, carpal tunnel syndrome, all of that. And it was either something that started at work, was aggravated by their work, or just would have different injuries that happened at work.
Sure.
And the thing is I had so many people who would come in, and most chiropractors, their hours are the same as everybody else's. That's a 9 to 5, maybe they're open until 6, which meant that most people couldn't come in for care because of the work, which was the place where they got the issue that
Right.
caused them to need the care.
Mm-hmm.
So when I looked at it, I didn't really find people that were in this sphere of chiropractic that were truly focusing on meeting people in the workplace, of going to serve them in the workplace.
Right.
And there is a huge trend right now towards better corporate wellness, better employee benefits and ways to take care of them in
Sure.
the wellness sphere. And I was seeing that a lot of companies are moving in that direction or had already started providing some of that service, but aren't doing it in a very organized way.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was the main reason for me wanting to open the type of practice that I have now.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've all realized how critical it is to treat your employees right, you know? And
yeah.
I mean, go backwards 100 years and how, things may have been done in different offices. And I mean, there was nothing that's there. I mean, I'm an insurance guy, so you have like comp that's there to protect you as the employee.
Exactly.
However, I know that I like nice shoes. I know that I like how, a chair looks or whatever. So it may not always be the most beneficial thing for my body. And then I know how I sit or how I slump or whatever I may do during the day absolutely has impacted my body and my ability to move. And so that's definitely a critical thing that I think a lot of folks, unfortunately, it takes pain to take that step versus like recognizing, hey, I've got someone who's here, who's helping me with whole wellness, if you will, who can guide me to avoid ever having pain.
I also really appreciated your education that when we've met and you've talked about the fact that with workman's comp especially, it's one of those things that with businesses, it's one of the things that they can truly influence as part of their insurance, and that they can make sure that, yes, you're well covered, that you have everybody identified properly as far as different staff who have different roles. But also, if you're able to take care of your team better and making sure that there are less injuries at work, you're going to have not only a more appreciative team, you're going to have a team that's more present, but also you're helping your bottom line by
more efficient.
By decreasing your overall cost with workman's comp, and that's crucial.
Absolutely. I mean, work comp is way more than just the safety meetings, and I think this is one of those components of looking out for your employees in the future versus just kind of in the past. It's not reactionary, which is huge. It's huge. I don't know if I'm changing too much or diversifying here, but what's EverSown mean?
So EverSown
Chiropractic company name.
EverSown was, of course, it's two words that I smushed into one.
Okay.
But the reasoning behind it was I always appreciated the concept of you reap what you sow. If you are sowing seeds of health in your body, meaning if you are taking care of your body, it's as if you are farming, you're planting seeds.
Okay.
It's something that you need to cultivate the soil. You need to sow good seeds. You need to help those with soil, water, sunlight. And then you also need to have a good harvest. And then you regenerate the same way again. That's something that we do throughout our lives. We need to make sure that not only are we taking care of our body now, but if you deplete the soil, years down the road, you may have a couple good harvests, but years down the road, you're not going to be doing so hot.
Absolutely. I turned 40 this year. I mean, these are real things you think about. Yeah.
So young.
Yeah.
So young.
It's hitting me.
But if you don't take care of yourself now, then...
When do you?
Exactly.
Right. And if it's too late, it's too late.
It's
one
a
of those
continuous process.
As opposed to being proactive versus reactive.
It's not... There's never... You've achieved health. You have arrived at the destination, and now you're done. Mm-hmm. That doesn't happen. It's something that is continuous. It's something that is never ending. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nice. All right. So March, I mean, so what's going on at EverSown? What has happened in the past, we'll call it 2025 of EverSown.
Yeah.
With Dr. Allison.
Well, in the very, very beginning, I mean, truly within the first few weeks, it was in-home care for people that I knew, whether it's people in my networking group or...
Most of us are entrepreneurs. We can totally get
neighbors, friends and whatnot who just said, hey, I want some chiropractic care. But I ultimately knew that I wanted to take care of companies and I wanted to build that out. So it has been a transition of what portion of my business is in home to what portion of the business is corporate.
Sure.
And a lot of it has honestly been, I feel like, getting the word out there because it is so different. It is something that not many people are used to. The chiropractors that I've talked to that have maybe worked with companies, it's been, my friend's business and I work with them, or their team comes into my office and things like that. It's not been, this is my business model.
Right.
To go to this company, bring quality on-site, consistent, literally documented, repeatable care
Yes.
for these people. And
Well, it's having a game plan, right? As opposed to just like, hey, I'm walking in, I do this one time, and then boom. It's here's your path going forward. This is what I think, ideally, based on what we've talked about in your initial assessment, because you're assessing on the front end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doing really, I would say, really focusing on detailed exams, trackable outcomes, making sure that I have a game plan with the company. I have a game plan with the team, the staff, the employees that they're serving, and making sure that we are literally creating everything so it's set up seamlessly.
Mm-hmm.
It's able to be taken advantage of by the employees, so that it's not just, oh, well, we did all this work and nobody used it.
Right.
I want to make sure that this is something that their team wants.
They understand the value. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's more of that front end work to make sure that we're decreasing barriers to entry.
Mm-hmm.
We're making sure that they're getting that quality work, getting quality care, and also being able to serve their company better, which means less sick time, less PTO being taken because they have to go to this doctor's visit or whatever. And
this just like kind of slapped me in the face, but I mean, the way that most companies are structuring that time off now, it's not vacation here and sick here.
Yeah.
It's all in the same, right?
Yeah.
And so we're talking about people being able to have longer vacations
Yeah.
or more vacations versus having to take that time and just be at home, not feeling good.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the worst.
Absolutely. And low back pain is a chronic problem.
Sure.
Not only for people who have physically demanding jobs. I mean, you can expect that for the truck driver, for the person who is working for a moving company. But it's also for people who sit at a desk all day.
Right.
40 hours a week. So, it's that a lot of the work that we don't realize is really, really hard on your body is actually really, really hard on your body. And that's because of the fact that we were not made to sit at a desk, holding our mouse, staring at a screen, which now, because people are so mobile, we're all working on laptops.
Yeah.
So you're looking down at this little laptop, and somebody who's your height
I mean,
should not be bending over to look at a laptop.
Yeah.
And then even if
phones.
Exactly.
I mean,
you take into consideration another prime example of a field are people who are in either professional or more trades. A prime example is a dentist.
Okay.
They are one-sided. They are literally, everything they do is one-sided, and they're always looking down. It's not like they can get on eye level with their client.
No, it's not an option.
The client can only turn their head so much, can only open their mouth so much. There's literally, they're one-sided and they're always bent over. So that means that they're putting tons of stress onto their neck, onto their shoulders. They're constantly holding tools, which put stress on their hands.
Makes total sense, but I'd have to hear it, to even have for that to cross my brain. You don't think about these little things until somebody puts it right in front of you. But yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Just those same sort of things that are repeated, especially one side.
I know. If you're right-handed, you do everything with your right.
Sure.
And then you think about the assistants. They're the opposite. So they have to do,
It's wild. It's awesome. All right. Tell us about this is more for our entrepreneurial side of things, but what have been some of those hurdles that you faced in this journey I'm going to take one step back. How many other companies offer this in the United States right now?
So
corporate chiropractic.
So I will not claim to have found every single bit of detail on the internet, but from all the research that I've been doing as a true model for their business, I've really only found about 2 companies around the U.S.
It's a great opportunity, potential huge, kind of gap here of underserved individuals for sure, which is awesome. So with that in mind, what have been some of those hurdles, that you've encountered, and how have you kind of worked through those?
I would say especially education. For even when I go out networking and say, hey, I'm a corporate chiropractor, I go into companies. They go, okay, well, but where's your office? No, I bring the office to you. I am taking everything into the site of your office, wherever you are, whether it is a corporate retreat, whether it is on site in your offices, or whether it is an employee appreciation day or a conference. It is meant to be on site. The whole thing that people don't seem to understand is, hey, this is a model that you can do. It's a way for you to support your team.
Right.
And it's something that's really beneficial, not only for the employees, but also for the companies. They are literally able to use this as an employee benefit.
Yep.
So it's a way to acquire employees, retain
Maintain,
employees. You're going to increase productivity. People have better, they feel like their company appreciates them and supports them more. Some of the companies I've really been amazed by are a lot of the companies that maybe can't necessarily afford to cover health insurance yet. Because as we all know,
It's wild.
insurance rates right now are
Yeah.
through the roof.
Yeah.
But this is an employee benefit that is a health benefit
Big time.
that is literally going to be way more reasonable for them to be able to cover for their team. And their team's going to appreciate it so much because you can tell that the company is trying. And I've really found that that's been a big thing, is really just education and getting the word out there, because there's nobody doing it right now, and especially nobody doing it in an organized manner.
And I'm kind of spurring
been
this one on you,
good
but
insight.
if let's say that I'm a business owner and I would love to offer this to my company,
Sure.
but I'm sitting here thinking like, I don't know what this is going to cost. It's going to be extremely expensive, right? Is this something also where, depending on what your employee's interest is, that an owner could basically supplement this to some degree, and then an employee could choose to participate in it, or is it more less like kind of one-sided?
So the way that I like to keep it really simple is that I want to keep costs down as much as possible.
Okay.
I want to keep my rates as reasonable as possible.
Sure.
And the way that I've set it up is that I'm going to first work with you through a consultation. So say, for instance, you have a company with, let's just say, 50 employees.
Yep.
And your employees are a mix between maybe some hybrid employees, some employees that are on site.
Okay.
But you've got 50.
Okay. Yeah.
With that, I'm going to go in and talk to you about, okay, so on a regular basis, how many employees do you have? And you say, okay, I have 50, but maybe about 20 of them are hybrid. Okay, so we would basically send out questionnaires to your team, and I would help you with all of that and all
Okay.
the materials.
Okay.
So you can, one, introduce my company and say, hey, this is something we're thinking about offering. What's your interest in this? I then make myself available so that if we'll have a day where it's kind of a
Yeah, like a
question and answer.
Q&A.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you want to learn more about this and you're kind of, okay, well, what's chiropractic, or what does this have to do? Is this going to benefit me?
Sure.
Can I get chiropractic care? I'm able to be there to answer those questions.
Okay.
But also for even the hybrid clients, say for instance, they're all hybrid and they're working at their desk, those 20 people, I'm able to do some telehealth work and
really?
their ergonomic assessment,
Okay.
posture analysis, making sure that we're checking in, and still being able to provide some extra services for those people who maybe aren't on site,
Yeah.
but still really need some support.
Yeah.
and
Just best practices.
yes, and we can
Yeah.
optimize things. Sometimes it's working with some corporate wellness programs for those teams as well, so that, if they're 4 states away, there's no way I'm going to see them unless we're having a group meet, a quarterly
Sure.
meeting or something. So that's something that I'm going to do an assessment with. And then say out of those 30 that are in office, we have 25 of them that are interested and 5 that are kind of like, I think I'm okay right now, or whatever.
Right.
So we're going to basically be able to cater everything so it's customized for your team and optimized to make sure that you're not getting anything that you don't need,
Okay.
but you are getting everything that will be really supportive for you. And then we're going to only set this up for the next 6 months, then reassess and go, okay, so what we've seen is that all those hybrid people, they loved it. They took full advantage of it. And then out of those 25 people that were originally interested, there actually was 28 people that were interested, but we had a couple people who were out on vacation, whatever.
Right.
So you have more optimized, this is going to be what's the best setup for the next one. So it's making sure that we're really catering it and modifying as your company grows, changes its needs. I want to make sure that this is something that is sustainable and affordable for any company, whether it's a company the size of 5 employees or 5,000.
Of course. Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing too, and it may not be so clear at that 6-month point, but definitely at that 12 or 18-month point
Yeah.
of some of that data coming back to the employer
Yes.
of what are your employees? What's that as a total? Are there less PTO? Are there less sick days? Are there less work site
Absolutely.
injuries? Those type of things are
And I
data
do
points
track
that-
those outcomes.
Yeah,
So some
exactly.
of that is tracking different, pain intensity, posture analyses. Being able to do those comparisons is so, so important. And I make sure that I synthesize all that data so I'm tracking it and being able to say, okay, here's a report. Here's how your employees are benefited.
That's awesome.
So those are really, really big because ultimately I want the company to succeed. I want the employees at the company to succeed. And I want to make sure that everybody feels the benefit.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel good, you're definitely going to be able to
Absolutely.
work a lot more efficiently and just more clear-headed, and you're
Yeah.
happier, and your coworkers will be
Exactly.
happier to work with you. A number of things. All right, this is a couple of my wrap-up questions here, but what do you think one of the, as an entrepreneur, and not necessarily just in chiropractic, but what you've done to promote yourself? What are some of those ways that you have found as far as promoting yourself, your business, maybe to differentiate yourself? And I know we're kind of in the beginning stages. I'm also asking this personally, just as an insurance agent, right, of how I can get out there better and meet people, because I know you are a great networker. Kudos to you. But
Thank
what are
you.
some of those things?
I think you have to do what comes as much naturally to you as possible. So
It's a very beautiful statement right there. Yeah, I mean, it really is. Trust yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I say that because for me, it is very natural for me to go out to different either networking meetings, maybe some community involvement. I do, for instance, volunteer at an annual event called Arioki. That's at the Strand of Marietta. So I'll do different volunteering stuff for passion projects that I have. It could be even just being involved in something that you love. Maybe you really love working out, so you're a part of your gym, but make sure that you're not going to a place that you want to get to know the people at your gym.
Yeah, you're not
maybe.
in there just headphones on locked
Exactly.
in.
And
Yeah.
if that's something you love, then you're going to find a different way to meet people. For others, it is, hey, I want to be able to do a podcast. So being able to meet people that way on a more intimate environment, whether it's maybe going to get coffee with people. Getting involved in local organizations is really big too, whether it is things like the Kiwanis Club, BNI, like we're a part of,
Sure.
And finding your right chapter, your right people. I know that the chambers can be really intimidating to people because they're so big. But if you're able to find maybe just one event that you really like, maybe it's an after hours, maybe it's a morning wake up coffee event, you're going to find those things that you really enjoy, and you're going to find your people. If you're really into social media, that's great. I would say that I still am learning social media. I don't even have a TikTok yet.
Good for you. I don't think I do either. I don't know. There might be one that's floating around out there, but it's not active.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what I think that I want to, really push across is how much I've appreciated just getting to know you. And also how evident it is that your energy is in the caring sphere of just like you.
Thank you.
You what's the best way even for me to say this? I feel a genuine energy from you that you genuinely care about me. You walked up to my window today and you're just like, "Are you good?" You know what I mean? And those can be intimidating things, but it's not only intimidating to get the question, it's intimidating to ask it. And so I want you to hear me say that I really appreciate you on that level. But I also know that from somebody who would be taking care of me and my body, I have nothing but the best of things to say. And so
you.
that's been awesome just to kind of have you in my world. So I'm very, very grateful for that. This is my final question for you on this.
Okay.
Do you have, and I know March is that's only a few months ago, but do you have a burn the ship moment? Was there a moment that you were like, all right, I am going after this mobile approach versus I'm brick and mortar, or was there something that kind of led you to that you would classify as that burn the ship moment?
I think the biggest moment that it would be is that I was basically taking some recuperation towards the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And this was in January. Just, hey, I've been working my tail off and I want to take some rest. Which also, if you don't
Critical.
do this, you should definitely do that.
Yeah.
And I had this kind of moment where it's okay, so the whole world is open to me and the world is my oyster. I can join another practice. I can work with some friends. I can open a brick and mortar. I could do whatever. And I really liked the freedom of not having a brick and mortar and being able to see anyone anywhere.
Absolutely.
Right now, I will go out to, I probably shouldn't say this because I don't necessarily want to always have to drive this far, but Villa Rica,
Yeah.
Conyers,
And we're talking
Woodstock.
about gaps of, and this is Atlanta
mean,
traffic, two
yeah,
people, but,
it's-
25 miles difference or even
Or
100
more.
miles. Yeah. Yeah. Depending on.
And it's that I can serve so many different communities and I find it really fun. I love change. I love being able to adapt in different environments.
Okay.
And it was, yeah, let's do this. I don't need a brick and mortar
Right.
to have a great practice. I can do all of this mobily. And that was just a realization where I need to get my butt out there again because people were, where are you? But it was just, hey, I need to do this and I
Yeah.
need to do it now. Let's do it.
Well, I'm very excited to see how you continue to grow.
Thank you.
And your success continues to
I
come to you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
I like to give the opportunity, and it is putting you on the spot again, but any final closing thoughts? As far as just from as a chiropractor, as an entrepreneur, is there something that 2 seconds of do this for your body, or is it as an entrepreneur, trust yourself? Like what, is there anything kind of final thought wise you'd like to add?
So, as far as entrepreneurially, one of the best things that you can do for yourself, if it's your business that you're building out, is find the values for your company that you want to create and stick with them. If you don't have company values, then you're not really differentiating yourself, but you also don't have a standard to go by. So really realize what those values are and stick with them. As far as a chiropractor giving advice to the world, and
Come on.
yeah, I know, right?
No pressure.
Hey, I'm a doctor, but I'm not necessarily your doctor. So make sure not to always abide by the advice of every doctor that talks to you. But yeah, exactly.
That's it.
But I say that overall, take the next step. Do something. I think people just, they're wanting to really change their health. They think that it is this mountain. Just take the next step. Drink an extra glass of water. Try to shoot for those 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah. Go for the walk.
Yeah.
One flight of steps, not the whole. You don't. Go to the first
Exactly.
floor and get the
Yeah.
elevator. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Go see a chiropractor. And it doesn't mean that you have to be in pain. It doesn't mean that you need to commit to it forever. But I will say that if I hadn't gone to a chiropractor when I was in my teens, and my mom, who met this chiropractor out, if she had not met this woman and I did not go in, I would still black out when I would go from laying down to sitting and sitting to
Is
standing.
that right?
Yeah. It was something that I was told was going to be a normal aspect of my life for my life. And it was gone within a matter of months.
That's
And
wild.
Yeah. It's never happened again. And if my mom hadn't taken that chance,
That's huge. I didn't know that. That's wild.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and it's kind of cool because my younger sister too is also a chiropractor in
Is that right?
Minnesota,
Okay.
and she specializes in pediatrics, so she helps multi-generations from
That's
that.
awesome.
It's
Very cool.
so you never know.
All right, this is Dr. Allison. Dr. Allison, how do we find you? What's your website? Which are you on? You said not on socials a ton, but I mean,
Well,
yeah.
so working on that.
Yeah.
So I do have Instagram, which is EverSown, EverSow.
And we'll post this on the bottom. I'll grab that
Beautiful.
from you. Yep.
_ wellness. And then website is eversown.com.
Okay.
I've also got the Facebook.
The Facebook.
And LinkedIn, you can find me under my name as well as my company's name. And maybe in the future we'll do TikTok.
I get
we'll
you.
See.
Yeah, we'll see. And so if they, if somebody's interested, if you're a business owner and you're interested, even if you're an individual and you're just interested, you have questions, all your contact stuff's on your website, so they can reach out to you there.
I always invite people to, if you're just curious, set up a consultation with me. It's complimentary. We'll do an assessment, see if we're the right fit, and figure out what works best for you and your team. That's, I think, the easiest thing and very low commitment.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. This is Dr. Allison with EverSown Chiropractic. I'm Will Ross with Safe Harbor Insurance, and this is Burn the Ship.
Thank you.